Okay, I'm glad you're still here. I'm going to do a talk about PeekabooAV, which is a project of mine, which I really love, and I hope I can encourage you to love it as well. I'm from Germany, so if you get the impression that we've started with a PowerPoint karaoke already, that's because I'm German. Okay. The PeekabooAV project, that's the Peekaboo thing. It's an owl, and it's cute, and that is weird. Okay, well you can still see the text. So PeekabooAV basically turns Cuckoo Sandbox into an antivirus. That's the basic idea behind it. Most of you, I assume, know what Cuckoo Sandbox is. Cuckoo Sandbox was made for analysts, for malware analysts, for maybe incident response people, maybe forensics people, but not particularly in a way that is 100% automated. It's so you can throw your files at and look at the reports that are interesting to you. It's not 100% reliable, but it doesn't matter in that scope. But for us, it does matter. So what Peekaboo does, it connects between the mail system and the behavioral analysis of Cuckoo Sandbox. We do queuing, we do scheduling, we do checks, and then we interpret, and we make a decision. And that's also something that Cuckoo Sandbox does not do. So in the end, we make a decision whether a file is bad or is not bad, and whether we pass it on by email or we do dump something else. So from the data flow, you can think of an email that has one recipient, several recipients. Mail system takes care of that. One email can have no attachment at all, can have as many as you wish. So that's why in every process, and I'm getting back to that later, we have queues we have to schedule, and we have to add information to what we're getting. Cyber is dangerous. We have heard that a lot, and we're trying to make world a little bit better, and see if we can do that. We can achieve that. So this is the place for PeekabooAV. We have the mail system on the left. We have Amavis, which is the industry standard for dissecting email messages, because the email format is really ugly. If you have ever looked at it, it's really ugly, this MIME structure. So Amavis takes care of it. It splits up the email message and puts it into a directory and hands over that directory to the antivirus. And you can use any antivirus for that. And also, it does integrate with PeekabooD, which is the daemon that runs the Peekaboo antivirus. And that then talks to the Cuckoo system. That can be any Cuckoo system that you're running anyway, and scans the files. So I was already saying a few things about Amavis. Amavis has its very powerful policy banks that you might know, where you can also already exclude files and say, well, executable is never sent by email. That's just forbidden. And you can go on and on and on. But then there is files that trigger vulnerability, and you also want to know about that. But there's no way you can possibly know that. That's why we use behavioral analysis. So Amavis dissects the email, passes it on over the directory into the Peekaboo system. And we had actually to write a patch for Amavis, because what Amavis does, it doesn't just put the file into that directory as with the name of the attachment, because then the attacker would control the file name within the server that processed that email. So they've named it P001, P002, P003. And that on. And we actually need the original file name, because if we analyze it in the Windows machine, we need the file extension to be able to tell which application will open that file and will process it. So we had to write this patch, and I would really like to see it upstream, because I believe that other antivirus solutions might also be able to use it. The best about this project is that it's licensed under GPL. The project is running since roughly 2 years now. We have won an open source award in Germany for this particular project. The setup looks like this. We have a server appliance that's really good with virtual machines, because that's what we're going to use a lot. We have Ubuntu running on it because it's a requirement by Cuckoo. Cuckoo says we run best on Ubuntu, and we believe them. Then we have Postfix, which is really good with email, but it doesn't really matter what you use. then Amavis. We use VirtualBox for virtualization. A lot of Python is also used in Cuckoo, but we use Cuckoo as well. And there is a nice and shiny installer that basically sets up everything for you. There is more. We have a sample database in the background to. No, let me phrase it this way: we have two big tasks within Peekaboo that we have to take care of. First one is to not waste computing power, because there's so many files coming in, and we're delaying that files depending on the configuration. You can have it inline, so the email is only passed on when it's scanned, or you can have a copy sent to the system that's then analyzed. And we don't want to delay email messages longer than we have to. So we try to avoid analyzing files, which sounds stupid, but it's actually not, I guess. And that way we have this database that tells us that we know this file. And I'm coming back to this because we had a very nice issue, a security issue, that relates exactly to this. Basically, if I send a file, is recognized by the SHA-256 hash, which is pretty good. So you might not find a second file that is malicious, more malicious than the first one, with the same hash. But then the issue was that it's only saved in the database by that hash, not by the file name. So the first time I sent my malicious file, I put it with a different file extension, and nothing will happen. And the second time I send it with a different file name, it will be recognized that it is already known and passed along, while it has the actual file extension that then triggers the exploit within the application. So that was a really nice thing to see. So we cache the results and then reuse them. The project is already in active use, so there's quite a few also companies that use it. It was designed in a way that it can itself run inside a virtual machine, because we have a server that's really good with virtual machines. So why not put the entire system into a virtual machine? And we have the benefit that everything is encapsulated. So we can just reset that virtual machine and everything is gone. So we're looking into data protection. It's all gone. We have an issue, we reset the virtual machine, we run the job again, and we have the results that we want, without having to look at anything that's within an email that we don't want to see. Also, if something breaks out, if something abuses a vulnerability within a tool that we use, and infects the virtual machine, it is also gone. We can also scan files, so we don't only support file input from email, but you can also use the big setup if you've got one. You can utilize it at nighttime when there's not a lot of emails coming in. You can use it to scan files from the file server, or you can also pipe in messages, and you can also pipe in files from a web proxy, for example, or you can extract it from the network. The goal is that the entire system goes unnoticed until you need it. That's the goal. We do have a dashboard, because you have to have a dashboard. But the goal is that you have the thing sitting there and you don't notice it until you need it. And then the virus admin will receive an email that says there's a threat that has been detected, and then you can go and investigate. I was talking about one of the issues. The other one was a very good one as well. I was talking about a file with different types, and it has been demonstrated that a file doesn't necessarily have to be only one type. So a file can just as well be a valid PDF file, and can be a video, or can be a zip file, or can be anything else. And we have a whitelist to avoid spinning up a virtual machine just for a text file, basically. So the issue was that a sample object within the project has, well, an unlimited number of MIME types that it can possibly have. And one of those MIME types is the MIME type that is declared within the email message. So it turns out that the attacker does have the ability to set that MIME type within the email message. And it does not affect the recipient. He can double click it and it will still open, no matter what MIME type is specified for it. So if you put that MIME type as a MIME type that's on the whitelist, that was sufficient to not check the file, because the test was the wrong way around. So one of the MIME types that this sample has on the whitelist was enough, rather than all the MIME types that it has have to be on the whitelist for it not to be checked, for it to be okay. Yeah, that's the final slide, because lightnings are a lot faster in Germany apparently. So if you've got questions, you can ask me now, or you can catch me anytime and we talk about this. Thank you.